Well, good morning from Queensland and Australia. How are you today? And welcome back to my channel. Sometimes we just need to do some maintenance in the garden, and what happens, of course, is you plant things and then you realise they're in the wrong place, or they don't actually grow the way you thought they would grow, or they just don't grow at all. And sometimes you just need to go, okay, we really need a bit of a clean up in this garden. So this one here is the first one that I'm going to be working on today. And the major challenges in here are the fact that I grew lavender here. And as you can see, it's, looked a bit healthy on the top, and then it wasn't. And these ones here all the way through are actually dead. And lavender requires a Mediterranean climate. So we have kind of that Mediterranean climate here, dry. This is growing in sort of rough soil. But what happens is here, because I water these roses every 5 days, these lavender have gotten far too much water. They don't like it and they're rotting. So it's time to come along and remove them today. And now all the lavender has been removed from the front of this garden. And the only good thing about taking the lavender out was, of course, as soon as you touch it, you get that most amazing, beautiful fragrance. I do love lavender, and I have it growing in another part of my garden. It just wasn't the right place for it here. The next part of the maintenance in this garden is the calabrachoa. Now, calabrachoa, if you watch my videos, is one of my favourite plants to have in the garden. Look at it, creates this beautiful ground cover here. Lots and lots of flowers on it, purples, whites, yellows, reds. They're just gorgeous. But they all grow from a central stem, and what happens is, even with watering, eventually they do die, and they have about a 12 to 18 month lifespan on them. So for me, I'm going to cut them back from the edge of this garden and see if in the next month they start to thicken up in the center again. And when you cut it all back from the edge and just tidy it up, it looks so much better, doesn't it? Taken off all or most of the dead part. We'll just see how this one goes down here. Like I say, they have a year to 18 months as a lifespan, so just let's see how much longer they get. And then finally, I'll just be trimming up some of the salvia that I've got here. Now, salvia is an amazingly drought tolerant, easy to grow plant, which I have all through this garden, as you can see. And the reason I like it in this garden around all the roses is because there's no really true blue colour in a rose. When you plant this near your roses, it brings out the colour in them every day. So this is really, really hardy. These grew from very, very small plants. So I just want to cut the edges back. We've had a bit of rain, so cut them back and give them a chance to go forward and thrive through our summer season. My gardening project this morning is now finished in this garden, and it went from being quite overgrown with plants growing out over the edges, quite bushy here, and having plants here that didn't belong here, to this. As you can see, I've taken all of the lavender out from the front. I've cut back the salvia here, given myself a little bit of space in there. The calabrachoa has been trimmed back, and now this garden gets an opportunity, with a little bit more rain that we've got coming, to start to grow and thrive again. We must remember there are some plants in our garden that need to be cut back every year. That encourages good health and good growth. So, happy gardening for you today, no matter where you are in the world.